from Cubicorn Games. They are presenting their project, Super Cucumber. So let's have that showcase here. Take it away.
Yeah, so this is Super Cucumber. It's a game I'm building with my wife Lorraine, so it's a two-person team.
Oh, wonderful. What was your name?
I'm Dustin.
Oh, Dustin. Wonderful.
Yeah, and so it's a 2D action platformer that we're trying to build with a low enough floor that's accessible to most people and a high enough ceiling that, like, if you're into speedrunning and really hardcore precision platformers, like, we're hoping it'll be for you.
So. All right, so where did you get the name from? I'm kind of curious.
So the character there, Cucumber, he's an aardvark superhero. My wife does all the art. When she was looking up information about aardvarks, she learned that a thing that they eat in the wild is called an aardvark cucumber, and so she named him for that.
Really?
Yeah.
So this must be World 1 here.
Yep, and yeah, so with no fresh save file, we play the first level in World 1. We'll get going here. The first tower, the first world is basically like a tutorial, so it'll kind of like show you how to play the game by itself for the most part. I'll throw in a thing here or there if I
it's an
feel like
evil worm with a top hat and a monocle.
Yeah, he might throw some stuff at you.
That's terrifying. Yeah, let's see. We got the fire. We got the ability to jump here.
Yeah, you can jump, attack, dash, which we'll get to in a minute here.
All right. Very nice.
Right here.
Oh, jump up walls.
You can jump up walls.
Wall climbing. Very nice. All right, and then can ride projectiles. All right, so.
Yeah, and that'll come into play later on too.
Sweet action. Oh, can't go left or right though. You kind of just sit on it.
Yeah, so they lock you in place a little bit because so they are still hostile. Like if you hit the very tip, they'll kill you.
Well, it's kind of nice though, because I mean I'm gonna be honest, trying to stay on platforms is hard sometimes. Jump high, hold A. Okay. I assume these are checkpoints.
Yep. Yeah. And so one thing we've tried to do to make the game accessible for most players, if there's no lives or continues or anything like that,
nice.
You can, if you're having a hard time with a jump, you die 37 times, you can stay in the level and beat it the 38th. And we've made the checkpointing pretty generous for a basic playthrough, so we try to put checkpoints before and after every like major gameplay section.
I like it. Can I hit both at once? Ooh, okay.
Yeah, if you position it just right. Yep.
So if I may, I've been told that we have actually a couple of incentives for Super Cucumber. So in development are 2 secret levels.
Correct.
But they will not be shown unless we do $25 per level. So if we want to get some of those donations in, we'd love to see us showcase a little bit more of this.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Hey, $25 a level, not too much to ask.
Yeah, it should be fun if we get the chance to show those off. Yeah, in the final game, there will be a ton of secret stuff hidden around the environments to find off the beaten path. We're just barely starting to build that stuff out now, but there will be a lot of things to come in the game when it's released.
Okay. Oh, very nice. It controls super smooth. I really like the gameplay so far.
Thank you. We've gotten pretty good feedback on it recently. And then here's
jump. All right.
There we go. You got the first try. That's nice. And yeah, so the dash jump basically like
feels a lot like Mega Man X actually.
So the whole game is basically like when we started building it, I was like, I want to build a thing that's like Mega Man X but different.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so the seed of it is absolutely Mega Man X, and then we've kind of built out from there.
I like it. What's up?
And yeah, so up there, that will eventually lead to a secret level. If we hit the incentive, that's not the one we're going to show because right now there's nothing in it. But
oh, perfect. Well, I still want to go see it. I might get over there. Oop. Oh, Oh, wait. Okay, so this is jump. Let me try.
And so yeah, you can dash jump off the walls. Okay. There you go. And then, so yeah, in this build, if you go here, it just says this.
Coming soon. I like it.
Yeah, someday there will be a whole different piece of content here. All the secret levels that we plan for the game are kind of off the beaten path, hidden things like that are either weirder or harder than the core, like, A to B content.
Now, where did it just put me? Did it put me in, like, the next part of the level?
So this is the next level in the normal, this is the next level you would have gotten if you just played the other one.
Gotcha.
Anyway, yeah.
I want to make sure I didn't accidentally skip
No, we didn't skip anything. Yeah, I would have stopped you if it was going to, sequence break it.
Platforms, love it. Okay.
Yeah, actually, in the final game, whenever you beat a secret level, it will just take you to the next level in the normal level sequence, just like this. And then I also want to implement a full clear mode that will be explicitly kind of for speedrunning, where if you turn that on, it'll play all the normal levels and then all the secret levels kind of all in a row with no breaks front to back.
I like it. Is that an olive?
It is an olive.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the boss you're going to get to in a bit here may or may not like martinis too much. So
I see. Okay. Ooh. I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, there may or may not be something hidden up there, too.
Actually, wait a second. That is a good point.
Oh, you got it.
There we go.
There you go.
Is this one of the incentive levels?
It's not. You can go in there. It'll just be the same thing as the other one. It'll just be like nothing here.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and take this guy out. This is actually really fun.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm glad to hear it. So there, don't go up there. That is an incentive level.
Okay,
yeah.
perfect. All right.
So we'll be coming back here if we hit that incentive goal.
Excellent. Remember, $25. I will get up there. Let's see. Does dash make me jump any higher? No. Ooh.
I do like the fact that you mentioned that you're trying to make this as accessible for people as much as possible, but then you still have stuff that's, hard enough for people that are, well versed.
100%.
Still incentivizing like that too.
Yeah, so like a core playthrough of the base game when it's finally done will, like I said, be like starts with this kind of soft tutorial and should be hopefully like a slow gradual ramp up, and then when you've beaten the game once, our vision for like New Game Plus is basically every single level will have a secret level hidden somewhere in it, and all that stuff will just be like we'll just keep cranking the knob higher on like, all right, well if you want it to get weird, we got you.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, dang it! These spikes are so sharp.
I mean, I'd be interested to see. It's like you have the secret levels implemented to some degree.
Yeah, we've got a couple examples.
Let's see that happen. I mean, $25 each level. We got 2. Let's see how deep this gets.
Let's see. So what's over here? This isn't another secret one, is it?
And so that's not necessarily a secret, but that's another example of how we're kind of designing the game to be like speedrunner friendly or speedrunner incentive, or exactly. So there's kind of a whole platforming sequence over there, but if you know how to hit that jump, you mean you don't need to do it. If you know how to hit that jump, you can kind of circumvent that and, shave 15 or 20 seconds off your time. There's a lot of examples like that in like the geometry of the level design where we've got like, I've built out like critical path A is for most people, and then little shortcuts that are intended to follow if they're like really trying to run through stuff.
I like it. Okay, so that looks like it burns.
There you go. Yeah, you're doing it. And then that's basically the gist of this whole fight. You want to break down sections of his tower and not get bonked by martinis.
So why martinis? I'm curious.
That was just a decision my wife made. She was like, I want him to be a classy earthworm who likes his cocktails, and so that's what we've got.
I love that for him.
Yep.
I'm just gonna leave it him to.
Yeah, and so that's our first boss fight, and then in the final game, basically every time you beat a tower for the first time, you'll get a new special ability.
Oh, okay. So evolving abilities. So what do we get from here? We get air dash. All right, now we really are playing Mega Man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're going now.
Or specifically, I guess, I get the air boot. So I'll tell you, getting the air dash is
right.
Mega Man 0 always felt
Yeah.
good.
And so if you want to pick that there, this level will start by tutorializing you on air dashing and then kind of expand from there.
See, I like that. Oh, Atticus. Ooh, now it's a shark. So you have unique villains for each of the worlds.
Yeah, and that's another straight Mega Man throwback where each tower has its own boss fight.
I like it.
Yeah.
Decks have to charge. Oh.
Yeah, and so now basically all the special abilities are built around this aura mechanic where whenever you either attack something or whenever you dash jump, you'll get a charge of that aura. And he's either in the aura state or he's not, and then you can spend it to do a special ability. So the final game...
Sweet.
Yeah, so in the final game, you'll only have, in this level, you only have the air dash. We've got a couple other things we can mess around with later that are, we've just opened up. We have all the special abilities unlocked basically for this build because we want people to mess around with stuff.
All right.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, jeez. The movement on these guys is pretty good. Wall sliding.
And you've been doing this a little bit already, but this is kind of like, if you've played Mega Man X, you know how to do that.
Yeah, it's just muscle memory.
Yeah, but if not, we'll teach you how to do it instead.
That's pretty good though. I mean, because that's one of those things where not everybody thinks about it, and it's going through it just kind of a neat tech to have. Mm-hmm. No, let's see. Does this do damage? No. Okay. Then again, I don't even know if I can destroy these. I cannot.
Oh, not those ones. Yeah. There you go. And that's kind of like what we want to guide people into do it in this level is like basically dashing off of stuff and immediately air dashing to extend a jump or
dashing quickly can keep your airborne. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so you can combo off of basically like normally the aerial attack it'll kind of suspend you for a few seconds, but it's dash cancelable. So
but it gives you aura too. Okay.
Correct. And in fact, if we get to the secret levels, that's another acceleration on that mechanic where I'll get into it in a little bit if we make it there.
Dash jump across very much. Oh, okay. So there's the platform there. Ooh,
There you go.
perfect.
This is what I meant by like it being deceptively. Things look simple on the surface,
Wait,
but once you get the rest of the stuff and you start comboing and everything,
Yeah,
suddenly
100%.
it's like, wait a minute, this is a lot more fluid than it turns out to be.
For sure, yeah, and in fact, the kind of like consuming and activating charges, like I said, in the back of my head, I'm always thinking in terms of like fighting games for people who are familiar with stuff like that. Where like when I'm building out more complex platforming sequences, I'm thinking about it as much like a fighting game combo as anything else. So like, all right, well, I want somebody to like jump, dash, jump, punch, dash, dash, punch, jump. Like that's what I want them to do for this sequence, and then I'll build out a thing that makes you do that.
I like it. Oh.
So you mentioned your wife is helping with the graphics and stuff, right? And obviously, inspiration between the two of you. What was like the big deciding thing about the theming and everything for this game?
Kind of the visuals thing was honestly all her, because like way back in the day, like 10 years ago, let's say, she had built a student project that starred Cucumber the Super Aardvark, and at that point, that game was like a Donkey Kong clone. Like you jump to the top of a thing, like where a guy's throwing stuff down at you, and so the first boss fight is kind of thematically derived from that. But then when we were talking about eventually making games together as a couple, like starting a company and stuff, I was like, I really want to make a thing like that's like Mega Man X Plus, and she's like, well, I like these cute characters that I came up with from my other student thing, and so that's kind of where like the vibes and the art and all that stuff spurred from.
I just think that's so neat.
Yeah, being able to compromise and make that all work is like, that's the best thing about making a project like this.
For sure. And the cool thing, like, it's cool that you can go so many different ways stylistically with game stuff, because we've got two different examples here where this game is, like I said, if you've played a bunch of Mega Man X and you play this, you'll feel it. You'll feel where it comes from. And the last game you guys just had on the Castlevania-like thing, I like that when you're making a cool indie project, you can go either way. You can either go like, all right, I'm going to both make this feel like the old thing and look a ton like the old thing, or, part of the way I'm going to change it up a little bit is I'll make it feel very much like a thing you're familiar with, but like visually, we'll tweak it a little, we'll make it a little different.
Because at this point in time, like, we're all being influenced and inspired by what's come before, and it's hard to make something genuinely original without at least making some kind of nod to something else.
Right.
But how you execute it is definitely a big to-do.
For sure. Yeah, and to some degree, I don't know if you'd ever want to like go make a game that no one has no touch point for, because like you how do you know if you're making something successful or not? Like in my mind, I love stuff that is like reminiscent of something that people already love, but again, you have to change it at least enough, like
Absolutely.
to get people on the hook with the thing, your version of that.
Yeah. But I like that a lot.
If you want to see how these things definitely make some harmony work and make this platforming go crazy, we're just asking $25 for each. We got two special levels in order to check things out more, so definitely bring it on.
Oh,
he got you.
not the badger. I assume that's what this is.
Yeah, he's a Badger Outlaw. And we've talked about this with some folks on the show floor when they've asked questions about the game too, but another decision that we've made to try to make the game accessible and feel approachable for people who are maybe less experienced with hardcore platforming games is having the enemies that you defeat stay defeated, kind of like from...
Yeah, that's
like
always good.
Yeah, it basically, like if you're having a hard time with a section, it gives you a sense of progression, even if you're like beefing it a bunch, but you're like, all right, well, I died 4 times this time, but I killed that vulture this time, so
Right.
I'm a little closer to finishing the sequence.
No, I like that a lot.
Yeah, there you go. And that kind of stuff is like where we want to expand the kind of end game out from, of like doing a whole bunch of cool things in the air without ever touching the ground, and that kind of...
Is this the secret up here?
Yeah, that's a coin. So in this build, coins do nothing. In the final game, they might unlock something really cool.
Okay. That's pretty exciting.
Nice.
And so how many worlds do you have together currently?
So currently there are 3 that are complete, and there's a 4th one that we have 1 test level up for the weekend. And the final game, there will be 6 worlds with 8 core levels and then 8 secret levels behind them. And then if you do every single other thing in the game, potentially there's a little more content at the end.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so no overt spoilers, but yeah, and a shaft like this is kind of like, so the thing you just did there with a double jump, that's another one of his special abilities. And that's an example of a sequence where we've kind of explicitly designed it. So once you come back in like a New Game Plus kind of sense, you have everything unlocked. You can kind of directly get your way up this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Or this is kind of like the bread and butter A path, and going directly up that shaft is kind of like the faster, more elaborate B path.
I like it. A lot of different options available.
Nice.
Okay. So, okay, where'd you get the music from, out of curiosity?
So the music's all me.
Really?
Yeah. When I say the whole game has been made between my wife and I, for the most part, I really mean it. Like, there's a handful of sound effects that are either like stock stuff or like royalty-free packs that we bought, but almost everything else is one of us has made it. Like, all the art is to her, all the music tracks are me.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely a whole lot of fun. I can tell you that right now.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Like I said, our reactions as we've evolved it and like keep tweaking stuff. Again, we try to take it out to conventions wherever we can find the time and just have people grind on it and make little tweaks to to try to massage things and make it more approachable, more fun. And we're getting good reactions.
So how long have y'all been working on this?
Oh gosh. So originally we were working on this and the first game we released, Down the Drain. We started building them both in 2014. And that last game, our first game ever, we released in 2022, and this we've been working on since then with breaks.
Okay.
So basically, like in 2020, we put this game on pause, so we kind of like didn't work on it all from 2020 till 2022.
Gotcha.
Finished our first game, and now we've kind of come back to this. But like an alpha prototype of this existed in like late 2014, so it's been a hot second.
Well, that's pretty sweet. I just had, and you said it's on Steam, right?
It's wishlistable now. Yep.
Wishlistable.
Yeah, so it's still very much in development. I don't have any exact timeline when it'll come out. At this point, it's been so long that we're doing like, we're going to just keep making it better. And when it's done, it's done. Probably next year sometime. Probably like mid 2025, if I had to guess.
Well, that's certainly pretty exciting.
Nice. Yeah, don't punch him down there.
I didn't know if he
But
was
you
vulnerable.
figured it out. You dodged him. Yeah, that's his only non-vulnerable state. That's when he's being a jerk at the bottom of the screen.
All right.
I think that might do it. Yeah, you knocked him out. Yeah, once you punch him in the head enough times, he gets a little confused, and
I love it.
turns out he made a mistake.
Atticus Finn.
And so here you'd get in the final game, you'd get another special ability.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah. So like right now you can do all this stuff, but this is a thing that like
gotcha. Oh, so you wouldn't normally be able to fireball at
until this point.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. Okay, and then it's sequential. So we got 1, 2,
Yep.
3, 4, 5, 6. All
Yep.
these worlds are built out for it right now.
These 3 right here. So if you go into this one's all built out too.
Excellent. Oh, I don't want to quit.
There we go.
Let me do that. I'm used to Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
The A buttons are full.
Yeah, it is worth noting that the game, we're building it for Steam Deck and Windows right now. And it should work with any controller that you've got. So it works with all the stock Xbox ones, with the stock PlayStation ones, and it does work with the Switch Pro controller if you sync it via Bluetooth.
Makes sense to me.
So-
Marsupial. What is this?
And so that might be another interactable object.
I
There.
hack it. Okay. Interesting. Oh yeah, I guess because this is right after you get the fireball, so it would obviously have some kind of tutorial.
Yeah, and in fact, right, we're gonna get into a little more. That's kind of the cadence. Is all the base levels. You'll get a mechanic, and then we'll teach you a little bit about it. And then...
To throw. So why will charge on the ground? Okay. Oh, but it says while charged. So does that mean that normally it would take aura to do this?
Correct, yeah. Just like all the other special abilities, you have to spend an aura charge to throw a big fireball.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, to throw a big fire. Oh.
Yeah, so like down there, you want to hit the Y button, the top button on the controller, and he'll throw you'll see. Yeah.
Oh.
And so that's the special version. And you can, in addition to using it as a projectile, we'll see it a little bit, you can also ride it, just like you can ride the arrows and stuff that fly through the environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's both a way to attack things that are far away, and it's another platforming tool.
The timing on that is probably a little interesting. Let's do this. Oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah, so this level is much more mechanically elaborate than the other two. Where,
I like it.
Oh, yeah, we've got weirder stuff going on.
I like the bee. And you said you did all the music for this.
Correct.
Okay, these have all felt very distinct track-wise, which I like a lot.
Thank you. That's definitely been all the towers are thematically different visually, and we talked about it a lot and wanted to do at one point that's another thing where we tried to differentiate a little bit where we could have gone just straight chip tunes the whole way through, but then I talked to my wife a little bit and I was like, let's try to tune the music a little more towards the area you're in.
No, I like it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I also really do enjoy a good chip tune, but
Yeah, and there'll be some of that in here too, but
oh, good.
yeah.
Yeah, I just think this works really well for it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Let's do that. Let's actually do this. Okay. Let's do this. Whistle the end.
Nice.
It's like a business office. So what? Now you'd mentioned your other game that y'all made, and you said this one was the first one inspired, but this not the first one y'all finished. What was the other game that y'all have made thus far?
So it's called Down the Drain. It's basically and how that started was basically we both built alphas of games and then decided we both wanted to finish them. So I was kind of the lead on this one, and my wife was the lead on our other game that's out, Down the Drain. And that's basically it is very similar in art style in that it's very kind of cute, fun-looking, colorful thing. But it's a roguelite 2D shooter starring a tiny snake named Marta, and it's about going down into the sewer pipes and clearing out a bunch of gunkin' enemies by shooting it with bubbles.
Okay. Yeah. That's pretty exciting. So it's another platformer type game then?
So no, it's more like a Binding of Isaac kind of it's like a procedurally generated dungeon crawling shooter kind of thing.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, roguelikes are definitely it's a cool genre because you put less you have to put less on distinct stage design and more about what can be fun to be cobbled together in all different ways.
For sure. Yeah, and that's been fun building games that are this game is very much not like that. It's kind of the exact opposite. So it's been fun doing both things. Where when we built that out, I was like, all right, well we got to build an engine to make levels. So it was all about getting down an algorithm that's complex enough to get. Say, think if you go further down to the right, there's one more button hidden down there to the lower right part.
Oh, I thought this was looping around. Okay.
Oh, it's right there.
Oh my goodness.
There you go. Yeah, but again, that's the kind of thing with this tower is it's got bigger, slightly more elaborate, slightly more puzzly sections to kind of get through. But yeah, it's been fun to do both to make a game. Like I said, that is you're kind of tweaking the algorithm a little bit, and then you load it up for 20 minutes and see how it feels. Whereas this, I'm building block by block levels, and then we'll try this jump, and if it doesn't feel like it's working, we'll tweak that 10 times and see how it works. So it's across building both the games that we've definitely run the whole gamut of explicitly authored content to stuff that kind of authors itself once you get it dialed in enough.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think that there's a lot of good value to having both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right, exactly. I don't think there's a one size fits all. One's necessarily better than the other, but from the standpoint of people making games, they feel very different.
Mm-hmm. So which one would you say has been more fun for you to make?
For me personally, I think it's stuff like this. My feelings on that I think have evolved over time, but in an era where AI feels like it's on the cusp of taking over so many creative things, having that kind of weighing down on the game industry and other industries in general, I have really enjoyed building levels for this game. I'm like I'm sure someone can train a computer to build levels for Super Cucumber, but for me, I have a lot of fun personally making them. So it's been very rewarding for me to do that.
Makes sense. I like it. Ooh. There's something to be said about joy of creation, right?
For sure, yeah, and exactly. That's like, we didn't start making games because we wanted to get rich someday. We started making games because we like video games. And so we've had a lot of fun making stuff, and I'm glad that as the years have gone by, we've still found time to keep working on things. Like I said, this has been, a long time coming, but whenever it is finally out, I'll be real glad that we got it into the wild just like our first game.
Passion project type deals.
For sure.
It's very interesting too that these frogs require multiple hits.
Yeah, and that's a thing that kind of happens from this point on, like from building the mid game into the end game, and in fact, coming into the one level we have built for the tower after this one. Oh, almost.
Oh, I have to press double dash on that one.
Yeah, so in there, this is a good example of like I said, you can kind of use the fireball either as a platforming tool, or you can use it to basically like hit stuff at a distance at a delay in time.
Right.
So yeah, you'll kind of want to do that, punch, over there, punch, double back.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
We're gonna fire the big one.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing about the fireball ability in this game is its diversity. Like I said, it's cool that it's just like a weird platforming thing, like you can throw it out and just kind of jump better than you would otherwise, but then also has a ton of utility in terms of destroying enemies at distance or activating objects both from a distance and at a delay.
Right, absolutely. And then, I guess what else? So what inspired the boss design? Obviously, the first one was more like Donkey Kong. What was kind of the second one? Like, what gave you the idea of the shark with just all the different windows?
That the thing is, that was one of the earliest things we designed for the game.
Really?
At this point, I couldn't tell you the original inspiration. I know that like from a visual perspective, my wife was like, I really want a shark who's like an old West land tycoon. Like that's his visual vibe.
Interesting.
And so like she built that out, and then for whatever reason, I feel like I was probably the person who pitched the like saloon door thing of like, oh, we could do like a one screen like weird kind of like just kind of hangs out and throws stuff at you.
The second boss reminded me more of that like the Wii Sports like shooting gallery or something.
Yeah, it's something like that. And I'll say this, I think, because again, at some point we were building this game, and I was like, oh, it'll be out in a year. we'll grind through this, it'll be so easy. But at that point, to try to get it out in a tighter time frame and keep the scope down, I think I had also pitched that like, all right, what if every boss fight was like single screen, doesn't move around a bunch, and we can make things simply. And if we get to the boss at the end of this level, you'll see that we've broken that rule a ton.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the third boss is very intense and very different.
Okay.
But I feel like back in the day when we started making it, that was my rationale. I was like, well, I want this to be like a tight, relatively quick turned around project, so let's try not to get too nuts. And then like as we've gone on, the years have gone by, we've tried to make it a bigger, more elaborate thing. We've started to get a little more nuts.
Makes sense. Now, out of curiosity, how close are we to the boss here?
If you pause the game real quick, let's see. So you would have to beat this level and then 3 more levels if we're in 3-5. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah,
well,
it's 6, 7, 8.
unfortunately,
Yeah, we
I
can call it
don't
here.
think we can quite make it, but you have a display here at MAGFest right now.
That is correct. Yeah, we're on the show floor.
Perfect.
And in fact, if you wanted to check this out on your own time at home, if you go to our website, cubicorngames.com, there's a Discord link at the top of that page. And we've got this build up in our Discord server if you wanted to mess around with it.
All right, awesome. So you heard it here. Yeah, they've got a wish listed on Steam. They've got a build already up if you want to try it out. And they're right here at MAGFest. So if you've got some time, you said you're down. Are you down in the MIVS area then?
Correct. Yep.
Perfect. All right. Yeah, go out check out Super Cucumber. This is an extremely fun game. I would highly recommend it. The movement alone was honestly worth the play.
Very cool. Yeah. Very awesome.
Yeah, no, like I said, absolute thrill. So thank you for coming out here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Really, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.